What's up, Leafs Nation? Welcome back to another game preview. I'm Zack Phillips, and today we're going to be taking a look at game number 13 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season as they head to Minnesota on the second night of a back-to-back to take on the red-hot 7-1-2 Minnesota Wilds. This Wild team has been pretty impressive so far here to start the season. I don't think really anybody expected them to get off the rip like this, and honestly, they've got the pieces. You've got some horses with guys like Kirill Kaprizov in there, some of the young guys, Brock Faber, and then just a goaltending duo back there who are able to go in on any given night and give you some type of performance that's not going to absolutely ruin any chances of winning. That Minnesota team is rocking right now, and it's going to be a tough one for the Maple Leafs here tonight, especially coming off of what was a tough loss last night against St. Louis traveling here. This team seems like they love to have some of these excuses. Back to back. Oh, we had a tough one. Oh, this one's going to be another tough one here tonight. No. Throw that stuff out the window. You got to show up here tonight ready to play. Bring your A game against this Wild team. And as far as bringing your A game goes, it's going to come down to who shows up tonight in this lineup. And let's take a look at what we've got for forwards heading on over to Daily Faceoff. So, from top to bottom, starting with the first line, we have Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner. I'm going to be completely honest. He got called out last night in our chat. I don't think he has been that great so far to start this season. Austin Matthews, we need to see him take a step up here tonight. Looking for him in any type of anytime goal scorer capacity might be a way to go. Shots on goal could potentially be another direction here as well. But Austin Matthews to step up and be involved in this game big time tonight is what this team needs. He is your captain. We finally saw him last night showing a big amount of emotion, or at least a relative to how much he typically shows throughout the course of a game. Mitch gets hit at the side of the net by Suter, and Austin goes into the scrum and absolutely hammers him. That's the most emotion we've shown. Berube comes out after and says, we will take that from him. But that first line, the only guy who's really been a spark plug there has been Matthew Knies. And as much as I love the other guys on this line, I love this line together. And I love Matthew Knies and the way he's playing and what he's bringing to this team right now. You cannot have that. The guy in the middle of the ice right there is your captain. He's getting paid $13.5 million. He needs to be driving this from a emotional, physical, level of play perspective, and so far to this point in the season, it just hasn't really been him. I need a big game out of him here tonight and dragging that first line into it. As for what we see for the second line, Max Pacioretty, John Tavares, William Nylander. They've been playing really well together. Pacioretty had himself another really good game last night. I gave him the play of the game for his chase down on Brayden Schenn in the third period. You're trailing by a goal. You need one bad. Brayden Schenn's got a partial break. Hauls ass back. Hits Brayden Schenn, and not just hits him, smokes him, turns around with the puck swiftly up ice, gets going, and just the way Pacioretty has kind of involved himself into the play, he has adapted his game here, he's become more physical, he's finishing every check, he's creating plays with his hands, with his playmaking, just kind of his vision altogether. This line has looked pretty dangerous so far, and I don't see them stopping. Third line, fourth line. Let's just call it what it is. As I'm recording this video and this video is going to go out, this is what they're listed as. Third being McMahon, Domi, and Holmberg. Fourth being Lorentz, Kampf, and Reeves. I feel like this bottom six could potentially have some type of mix-up here. Maybe a guy like Reeves or Holmberg comes out on a back-to-back, and Nick Robertson gets an opportunity to go into the lineup. So I say these lines, the bottom six, with caution, just saying that there could be some type of change-up amongst them. The issue we're having right now with this is just not scoring. Lorentz gets on the board last night. It was an incredible fourth-line play as well. Wasn't really talked about too much during last night's show, but you know, they get in, finish checks, they cycle hard, they're able to create some chaos down below the goal line, and that's where these lines need to be playing. Lorentz able to make it a one-goal game there last night. It was a great goal by them. We need some more from the third line here at this point. That's more so where I'm going with the scoring. They need to be contributing and getting on the board. Haven't really done so to this point, and I would like a little bit more out of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if a guy like Nick Robertson by game time is announced into this lineup. Now, taking a look down at what we've got for the rest of the lineups, let's go over to what we have for the defensive pairings for tonight. Yet again, over on Daily Faceoff, nothing changing as of right now. Hawk and Paw, I expect to be up with this team soon, which will put guys like Benoit and Timmins in some sort of danger in terms of their security in this lineup. But for right now, he cannot come back and will not come back. He's out with the AHL team, the Marlies, in Cleveland on a conditioning stint. After that, who knows? No one's job is safe at that point in time. Timmins stays in for right now. Benoit still in right now. I could see a guy like Philippe Myers potentially pushing himself in here tonight just on the back-to-back. But otherwise, I'd have seen no reason why Connor Timmins should be coming out of this lineup. Now, we can just scroll down real quick here. Power play units. We have no news or anything about any change-ups as of right now. So PP1, Tavares, Marner, Nylander, Riley, Matthews. PP2, Nyes, Domi, McMahon, Ekman Larson, Pacioretty. Last night I was asked, what would you do if you were going to shake up these power plays? Because we end up switching back at the end of the game last night to these units, which is the loaded up units. And Riley's back out on to PP1. Ekman Larson slides to PP2. Honestly, this is not the units that I would be putting out there. I'm not the coach of this team, so what does it really matter? But the way I would be deploying these guys would be as follows. Nylander and Matthews. You want big boys together, that's fine, but I think those are the big boys you need on the first unit. Nylander and Matthews go out together. You use Nyes net front, a guy like Domi or Pacioretty I could use as well down low. Domi I think would be a great playmaker there. Pacioretty would be an interesting one to me because if he fits into that first unit and can be a playmaker from down low, but also a guy who's able to bury and create chances down low, like within him and Nyes and being able to attack the net, he could be a useful piece. And then the other guy that I have is Ekman Larson because I think he shoots a little bit more and is more of a threat from the point. That's how I would shape up PP1. I'm not the coach, so I don't get to make those calls. But yeah, people asked, so I will answer. That's what we have there. As for our goaltending situation, I have no confirmation as of right now, so I'm not going to lie to you guys and say this is what it is. But you got to assume that it's going to end up being Anthony Stolarz. Joseph Woll goes last night. He played the game before as well. Why would you not go back to Stolarz and give him an opportunity? He's unconfirmed. Philip Gustafsson on the other side for the Wild there. So no shocker for the Wild. If it ends up being Woll here tonight, I would be pretty shocked, in all honesty, if he goes in net for this Leafs team. So that's what we have for tonight's goalies. Let's get to our best bet segment. And before we do, we did end up losing the best bet last night. We lose 3/4 of a unit on a Max Pacioretty record a point at +110. Felt pretty good about that one. Felt like we had a decent edge there. Something that just kind of wasn't being properly priced in yet, just based on how that second line was playing. Pacioretty was still getting the power play time. Obviously, at a certain point, they changed up the power plays. Everything kind of goes out the window. I still think it was the right look. Unfortunately, we don't end up getting the Pacioretty point. So we are back down to up 1 unit on the season. Through 12 games here, we've given up 13 bets. We're 5-8 on the season. We are hitting at a 16% ROI right now, and we are up 1 unit on the year. So we're going to try this again. We're going to try to get ourselves back into the win column here tonight, and we will do so over at Bet365. The pregame best bet segment is brought to you by Bet365, proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation After Dark. You can open an account with Bet365 today, bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION when you sign up, NATION. That's code NATION when you sign up, NATION. So whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Make sure to head on over to Bet365 today, and that's where we will be placing our best bet for tonight's game. So as I normally do, I'm going to pull up the Bet365 screen. You guys should all have Bet365 in your arsenal at this point. And just taking a look at some of the games up here today and how easy it is to navigate. I pointed this out before, but trending over on the side, most used for myself, how much I'm betting on, it's all in there. It's easy to navigate. It's got all the sports, all the markets. But I'm going over to the NHL, obviously, and we're going to slide down to the Leafs Wild game, and we're going over to the player props. This is my favorite area to bet. This is the one way that I feel like I can beat the sportsbook and take some money out of Bet365's pocket the most. Tonight's best bet for me is pretty simple. I think that the second line's been rocking. I have been going with this second line repeatedly over the last couple of games. We have won a bunch of money betting on this second line, and I feel like there's still a little bit of a trailing adjustment on this group that just hasn't quite accounted for what you need, what they are providing and what the odds should be, what they need to be changing these odds to for how lethal and dangerous they've been. As well, on top of that, Johnny T back to power play 1. I see an opportunity, so I'm going with John Tavares, anytime goal scorer at plus 225 tonight. Look, he's heavily involved in this play. He's looked like he is no longer a step behind it anymore. He looks right into it. He looks like he's creating opportunities. He's dangerous. And I just feel like this is a spot where Johnny T would normally be like a plus 180, plus 190, and we're going to get a 225 on him here tonight that I think is pretty good. We'll go with a half unit yet again. So the half unit on Tavares tonight at plus 225 would profit us here $112. So $50 at plus 225 will profit $112. That's my best bet. I feel really strongly about this second line and continuing to go back to the well with these guys. I feel like there's not been quite the right price adjustment for them and how they've been playing, and I want to continue to ride this. So John Tavares, anytime goal, plus 225, half a unit on this to profit $112. We are currently up 1 unit on the season, 16% ROI. Continue that here tonight with another win. That would be amazing, and just kind of knock this out of the park and build up a little bit of a bankroll through the first couple of games of this season. That would be a good way to start it. So thank you so much to everyone who tuned in here today. I appreciate it. As always, if you liked the previews, hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, Leafs Nation 401 on YouTube. I will be back later today following tonight's game against the Wild for another post-game reaction live show right here. Subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Let's get a Leafs win here tonight. Enough of this, like, oh, we're struggling, we're floundering, kind of at the 500 mark. No. Go into Minnesota, take care of this red-hot team, and let's just get it done. Let's get a win. Let's get a win. That's what I'm looking for. Look forward to seeing you guys back here after the game. Appreciate it. As always, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.